Hello everyone, in today's video I will be discussing why it's important to freeze transformations in Maya, and I'll also show you how we do it. So why do we freeze transforms in Maya? We freeze transforms because this is a way we reset an object's value while still maintaining its position. This ensures a clean baseline for animation, rigging, and export workflows. This prevents errors and keeps the workflow organized. Now let's look at some common issues that can arise if you don't freeze your transforms. Not freezing transforms leads to inaccurate object manipulation, disorganized scenes, and export errors due to misinterpreted transform values in other software packages. It also causes rigging issues such as disrupted skin bindings or disrupted joint placements, and it creates animation inconsistencies as well by making it difficult to restart objects and controls to their default states. So let's take a look at a practical example of why it's important we freeze transforms. So this is our scene, and let's say we had our character model in one file, helmet model in another, and we're bringing those files together, and the helmet comes in big. So what you'll probably do is spend some time to get the helmet to line up exactly where it needs to be. And let's say we accidentally move the helmet, and we do some other things down the line too, so you can't just undo. Well, if I select the helmet, I'm like, well, I can go to my channel box and I can zero it out. But when I do that, set the scale to 1, it's back to here because this is where those transforms were last frozen. That's where they came in as. So what you really want to do is once you get your object positioned and rotate it, what have you, you want to make sure you freeze the transforms. So to do that, you can come here and hit this icon to freeze the transforms. Another way we can do that is to go to the Modify tab, Freeze Transforms, and we can also do Freeze Transform options. So you can also set it so it's only freezing either the translate, rotation, or scale. You can do that through the Freeze Transform options as well. So let's say I want to not freeze the rotation. Well, if I move this, and I want to reset these transforms, I can hit apply. Notice how the rotation doesn't go to 0, but the translation does. So that's another bonus kind of tip for those options. So hopefully you can see how that's super useful when you're bouncing assets between different software packages. For example, when you're doing like retopology, right? You want to make sure that low poly asset and high poly asset are lined up on each other. So you want to make sure you're freezing those transforms so you're negating having to manually try to eyeball and line things up. Let's go ahead and take a look at one more example. So in this scenario, we have our character that's nicely rigged. And if I go through the controls, you can see how these ones are all zeroed out. We froze those transforms. However, if we select the character's right foot controller, we have messy transforms, right? So that's not going to work well. So in an example, we can see here, let's say we are testing out posing for our character, and so the controls are moved, right? Usually it's no problem because we can just go through all the controls and we can zero out the transforms. And this is how they originally were. But when we go to that right foot one, the one that didn't have those frozen transforms at the correct location, and we try to zero those out, you can see that it's not in the place we would expect it to be, right? And that's just because we didn't freeze those transforms. So unfortunately, when we have a complex rig and you have multiple controls that don't have their transforms correctly frozen, when we try to zero them out, it's not going to work. And you can't easily go back and try to fix them, unfortunately. So if I go to freeze transforms here, you can see it's doing something, and it's not working as intended in some cases. This one's not too bad. But when we go to and try to freeze transforms on the global control, It just doesn't let me, okay? So really, you just want to be extra careful in when you're rigging and deleting the history, or freezing the transforms, excuse me, when we are building those control rigs. I hope you all found this one helpful, and I hope to see you guys freezing those transforms correctly. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.